Good morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm stopping by just for a short amount of time, about 10 minutes, to connect with you, to create a space of support, a space of guidance, of healing, or whatever it is that you might need at this time. So, what is it that you need? Only you will know that. So maybe take a few deep breaths and check in with yourself and ask yourself, what do you need? Do you need some rest? Do you need some patience? Do you need some healing, some support, some strength? What do you need right now? Not what you should need or what you needed yesterday or what tomorrow. As you check in with yourself now, what is it that you need? Welcome, Wolf. Welcome, Jessica. Welcome, everybody. I'm not going to be here for too long. I am about to do a live healing event on my YouTube channel. So let's just do a time check. So I've got around 10 minutes. So my intention is to pull a card from my healing energy cards. We'll chat about it for a little bit. And then I'll pull a card to go, basically. So I haven't got any instrument or anything with me today. I'm pretty much, the reason I'm here is that I'm ready early for my healing event. And I can't start it early, so I thought I'd come in and connect with you. So I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia. It is Thursday, the 29th of December here at around 10 to 9, so around 8:50 a.m. and I trust that you're well. How are you today? I'm feeling really good. The sun's shining and I have just set up for some paving. So as soon as I finish the healing event, I'm going to go and do a couple of loads in the cement mixer and pour some pavers and keep building up my retaining wall. So there's a few walls that I want to build out of concrete and render, but I'm starting with my retaining wall just to see how that goes. So it's like my first step in a bigger plan. So I'm doing I'm concreting little bits of retaining wall at a time with rocks in it, and other bits of rubbish, basically bits of metal rubbish, and we'll see how it turns out. So I'm probably about halfway up the wall at the moment, so it's quite exciting. So that's my plan for the morning at least. So let's grab a card for the majority of us. So I'm looking for the best card that the majority of us need at this time. So what do we need? What do we need to talk about? And as always, please take on board what feels right and what resonates and let the rest go. Just think of this as a guide only, and if it speaks to you personally, then that is a bonus. Oh, hello, our little friend here we haven't seen for a while, actually. This card shows up regularly. It's like a consistent friend that, we might not be diving in deeply with, but they're just sort of there whenever we need someone. And that's a bit like this card. So it's card 43, I Am Expanding. It's in the Rise category here. And down here it says, your light is expanding, not your lower ego demanding, which means your light, your truth is growing and expanding. Your heart wants to grow and expand. The truth of who you are wants to grow and expand. The deeper part of you wants you to grow. It wants you to stretch yourself out further. It wants you to experience more life. Your soul wants you to grow and expand. But our fear, we think our ego, we think our hurt and our wounds and the burdens that we carry, we think those things want to grow and expand. And in some ways they do themselves, but they don't want us to grow and expand. So our fear, our wound, our hurts and pain, our issues, our limitations, our insecurities, all those sorts of things, they seem like they become bigger and louder, and they become more demanding of us, more demanding in keeping us small and keeping us from growing and keeping us from expanding. So there is a difference. The energy that's good for us, that wants us to grow and expand, it will challenge us, but it will push us to grow. It will push us to become more. Our fear and all that sort of wounds and hurt and limitations, insecurities, all that sort of stuff becomes more looming and demanding and tries to keep us squashed down and small. So basically what this sentence is saying is your light is expanding. Your soul wants to expand. Your heart, your truth wants to expand. It is expanding. Your lower ego, your fear and all that energy that I've been talking about is demanding. It's not expanding. It's demanding of you. It's consuming you. It's swallowing you up, probably. It's trying to keep you small because that's its job. The fear, our hurt, our wounds, our limitations, all the stuff that keeps us small, its job is to keep us small because it keeps it alive. The fear and the wounds and the issues and all that stuff has no life in us when we are strong and we are standing in our power and we are expanding and we are thirsty to push ourselves out of our comfort zone and expand further in life. This is the worst enemy for our fear. So if our fear is if this is a living entity, which it often feels like it is, its job is to keep itself alive. Therefore, it needs to try and keep us small. So that energy is always going to want to be heavy and demanding and trying to keep us down and small. So to choose to follow the light, if you like, or follow the truth, follow the calling of our heart, our soul, what is calling us into life, to follow that is to kind of push through the fear and move out the other side into that other part that calls us forward. And that part feels good. I like to ask myself, if I'm not sure if this energy is good for me or not, is it fear that's trying to demand and command over me? Or is it my heart and soul trying to push me into something new, into new territory, so I can become a more improved version of myself based on my observations of me? I ask myself, is this thought, is this energy, is this situation, is this person supportive for me and healthy for me? And if it's not supporting me, if it's not healthy for me, then it's probably trying to keep me paralyzed and small. If it is supportive and it is healthy for me, it's going to push me out of my comfort zone. It's going to push me to become more and recognize more of what my capabilities are. So I'll repeat that. I am expanding. Your light is expanding, not your lower ego demanding. Release who you are for who you could become. Opportunities and higher self. So this is the expansion. This is the growth. This is time to put our fear, our wounds, our limitations, our insecurities aside and move forward. There is an element of release that may be required as we let go of the past, especially the pain that we carry there. And as we move through, we're going to feel scared to step into the unknown. We're going to feel resistant. In fact, usually our fear wants to vomit all over our potential happiness to keep us resistant in growing. So anytime I feel resistance, that is a sure sign to me that my fear, that looming, demanding, ego-driven part of me, is trying to keep me small. So the resistance is that fear, that resistance to taking that next step. So when I feel resistance or fear in this particular manner, I use that, I've sort of wised up to it now, I use that as a sign that a part of me, a scared, smaller part of me, is afraid of what potential I can grow into that's I'm about to step into, if you like. So the louder the fear, the louder the resistance in this way, the more I am alert to, okay, why is the resistance so loud? The louder the resistance, the more amazing potentially this thing is on the other side of it. And it's shown me that. It's proven this to me time and time again for decades in my life. So I'm not afraid of the resistance. I acknowledge it. I feel resistant. I feel scared. But I do it anyway. I move forward through it. I build up my courage to move through those feelings of fear and resistance, to see what's on the other side. I've got nothing to lose. Worst case scenario, someone says no. Worst case scenario, I'm back to where I was before. Well, that's not that bad. So, yeah, it's almost like a game, I feel, between my lower side, my hurt and my pain, my fear in that way, and my higher side that wants me to succeed and grow and become an improved version of myself. So, thank you. I guess this has been a lot of mental healing. I'm going to pop this card away and I'm going to pull a card to go. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you. And if you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you would like to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. If you'd like to learn more about me and the work I do at Temple of Balance, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. I am literally a couple of minutes away from hosting a healing event over on my YouTube channel. So please head over to Temple of Balance on YouTube if you are interested. I'll be there for about an hour. So the best card to go. What do we need to think about moving forward? What do we need to know about what's next, especially in regards to what's come up? So we've got this card, card 67, Emotional Rebirth. And it's in the action category. And down here it says, a new level of feeling. Allow how you feel about something or someone to change. Emotional transformation, flow, maturity, and a new perspective. So looking at your emotions are going to be key in what I was talking about before, connecting with the lower energy or the higher energy, basically, or we could say negative and positive, perhaps. But the energy that stops us, keeps us small, and the energy that expands us and keeps us growing and becoming more improved versions of ourselves based on who we used to be, not on compared to other people. So the key, one of the keys in understanding this energy, this dark and light energy that plays out within us all, and sometimes the dark's more prominent. Hopefully, most of the time the light is more prominent, but the dark is certainly present and it plays its role in trying to help keep us balanced and push and expand us. Our emotions are key in this. Listening to how we feel is key, and being really honest about how we feel is also really important. And I talked about that in a recent video, actually, about being honest with how we feel and really allowing ourselves to feel our way through things. So, for example, when I'm feeling scared and resistant because I might be about to step into something quite new and scary, and I might feel scared and resistant, and a part of me is trying to talk me out of doing it. Part of me is saying, well, run the other way, or it sparkles this distraction over to the side, trying to stop me from stepping into something that's good for me. So I need to be aware of how I feel and what tactics my dark side, if you like, my shadow side is trying to, the tactics it's trying to do to try and distract me and keep me away from what is good for me and what expands me and what helps me grow and supports me and is healthy for me. So feeling and being aware is really important. So the awareness, I guess, first, being aware of what's going on, that tug, that push and that pull, and then diving into the feeling of resistance, the feeling of fear, the feeling of whatever issue's coming up, to then move through it, sort of carve a tunnel through the fear and resistance to see what is actually on the other side. I don't believe what the fear and the resistance is telling me. I want to go and see for myself if it's really something to be afraid of or not. And most of the time, in fact, almost all the time, I can't think of a time where it hasn't been the case. It's always been something amazing on the other side. So emotions moving forward, allow our emotions to shift, to grow, to transform, and in some ways mature. Let our emotions be a pivotal part in helping us get a new perspective of maybe this dark and light side, this yin yang that might be playing out for you at this time. So thanks so much for connecting. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care of yourself. Namaste.